Britain's streets, a battle is raging. Over 11 million of us rent.
I'm freaking out. I'm terrified.
But thousands fall victim to rogue landlords.
It's just the worst property I've seen.
2 million of us are private landlords.
He's owed almost £10,000 in rent.
But many face financial ruin at the hands of bad tenants.
Supposed to be out by yesterday.
Well, we're still here.
Get your hands up.
Don't push.
I had a nervous breakdown for the first time ever in my life.
I'm not going back on the street, no way.
In this series, we're on the front line with the enforcement officers who crack down on rogue landlords.
There's a lot of scams going on.
This is gross exploitation. It just can't continue.
And the experts, whose job it is to evict bad tenants. Housing officers get a shock.
Why are you hiding? Come here!
When they raid a suburban home.
I don't know what is going on.
And squatters take over a community church.
For what you've done, you should be apologizing to the community.
Eviction lawyer Chris Sharp has an unusual case on his hands. He's serving notice to a group of squatters who are occupying a local community church.
I'll be honest, this is a first for me in terms of squatters at a church.
3 months ago, Ghanaian ministers Reverend Sarpong and Ibrahim Farouk leased an empty 19th century church in the heart of Liverpool. They want to launch their ministry and set up a community centre here. So they were shocked to discover the gates had been locked and a group of squatters had moved in.
My client wants them out because they're setting up a ministry and they can't because these guys are in there. We've been told that there could be quite a few people, but they're showing no signs of wanting to leave. It's a big old place.
Chris needs to serve the notice in person, but there's a problem.
Fantastic. Looks like they've padlocked the gates. 8-foot fence, padlock gate. Don't make it easy for you. I said about 8 foot. I think you underestimated it. That's no opening. What I'm thinking is I'm going to try and get onto this land. It might be slightly easier to access that fence. In. We have to put these people on notice that we're taking proceedings to get them out. So making these signs visible puts them on notice that we are here to notify them that there's a court hearing coming up. Changes in the law over the last few years has meant that squatting a residential property is now illegal. It's far less problematic if they go for an empty commercial unit, a factory, a corner shop, or a church. So what we've got here is a usual notice saying that they are now occupying. Right, I'll give it a knock. This place is a big old church. You could just make out silhouettes at the back. Hello? Hi. I'm here on behalf of the ministry who's taken over this property. All my client wants to know is how long you're staying for. You're staying indefinitely? I've been told I'm being incredibly rude. All we want to do is give you these notices and then we'll be on our way. Okay, what I'll do, I'll hand them through, okay? There you go. Okay? There are other members of the community other than yourselves that want to use this property. He's walked away from that argument. I'll leave that with you anyway. Okay, thank you. They were saying something about they've got a legal right to be in there. No, they haven't. Absolute nonsense. They're unlawfully occupying. They are trespassers, squatters. Cut it however way you want to. They are not meant to be in there, and they have got no legal right to be in there, no matter what they say.
One of the squatters comes to the gate to talk.
We currently have occupation of the building. We have the legal standing to be in this grounds. You haven't given us any proper notice. You haven't been invited into the property.
Whatever arguments they have, well, the correct forum is in court next week. So we'll wait till next week and let's see which way it goes.
Chris and the ministers will now have to take their case to court. They can only hope the judge rules in their favour. It's been 5 days since lawyer Chris Sharp served notice to a bunch of squatters who've taken over a Liverpool church. He's on his way to court, hoping to win a possession order.
You know, this is important to my clients because, you know, they're wanting to introduce this church back into the community, and by these guys who are in there, you know, pulling down the shutters and barricading themselves in, they're basically giving 2 fingers to the community. It's simply unacceptable. We will get our property back. We absolutely will get those people out of there.
Waiting for Chris are Reverend Sarpong and Ibrahim Farouk.
Morning, Reverend. How are you doing?
Their ambition is to launch their ministry and a community centre in the church, but so far they've not been able to set foot inside.
I try to enter into dialogue with them, but they turn around like, you are not supposed to be here, you are trespassing.
They were trying to say they have right to occupy the property.
I don't know if the guys who were in the property will be turning up today. They did make it clear to us, though, when I served the papers, that they had no intentions of leaving and they wanted to stay as long as they could. There's no such thing as squatters' rights. Simple as that. There are hurdles that a landlord has to go through, but when somebody breaks in or somebody takes occupation of a property that does not belong to them, they do not have any rights per se at that point.
It's so frustrating because most of our projects help people on the street.
Yes.
Is giving out warm clothes,
yes,
jackets, blankets, including cups of tea.
Yes.
And our intention was to open up a cafe within the building so that many people can come.
Well, look, let's try and at least secure the order for possession. Okay, let's go then, guys. Cheers.
Chris presents his case to the judge. And so do the squatters, who are able to delay the eviction on a technicality.
It would appear that the defendants who turned up were claiming that because it's an old building, that there's an issue with the address. So what the judge has asked is that just for further clarification as to the actual address. So hopefully it'll be a few more days and we'll get that rectified. The Reverends are lovely people, and they were a little bit, how can you, probably shell-shocked that this was happening to them.
It's so frustrating because we have plans, you know, and all this. It's really become a, what do I say, a bit difficult for us.
All that happens in these cases is it just delays the inevitable, but it made the Reverends' resolve even stronger, and it was then just a ticking clock. They were going to get evicted.
Chris will return to court. If he gets the result he wants, bailiffs will then remove the squatters by force if necessary. It's just after dawn in Liverpool. Today, the squatters who've taken over this 19th century church are set to be evicted. Lawyer Chris Sharp has won a possession order on behalf of its leaseholders, Reverend Sarpong and Ibrahim Farouk.
Morning. How are you? All right?
Good, thanks.
Yeah?
Good.
Well, finally, the morning's come.
Yes.
Very early, I know, but it's always the best way.
It is.
Catch people unaware, and also, with it being so early, might be a bit of commotion. Best that there's no masses watching as well.
They've been tipped off that there are up to 20 squatters living in the church. So Chris has brought in a large team of High Court sheriffs to carry out the eviction.
Good to see you again.
Evictions like this can turn nasty.
We'll basically follow Mark's lead. Simple as that. Okay. If he says, stay there, we stay there.
Yeah. Best thing for you to do is just stay on the other side of the road, maybe, and just watch whatever's going on until we've got control of it. It's a big old building. So.
Tensions are high. The reverends are nervous, I'm nervous, I dare say the sheriffs are even nervous.
You just got to be on your toes, really. Expect the worst, and then if it's any better than that, you've had a result, haven't you?
Wire cutters make gaining entry to the site easy, but the element of surprise is still key, as with just one door into the actual church, the squatters could easily barricade themselves in.
I can't see anything behind it, no barricades or anything.
Once we're in, hopefully it should be over in a few minutes. Hopefully.
Get the red, get the red.
You always know the sheriffs mean business when they call for the ram. That way, yeah?
Yeah, that's where the lock is. Oh, dear.
If nothing else, it should wake them up if they're in there.
They finally have access, but still no idea who or what awaits inside.
Sheriff's office!
Coming up, the squatters are confronted.
For what you've done, you should be apologizing to the community.
And it's D-Day for landlord Mr. Branca as council officers return for a final time. In Liverpool, High Court sheriffs have entered a church that's been illegally squatted for 12 months.
Sheriff's office!
Oh, hi. Got written possession for this address? Yeah, you need to pack your stuff up. You need to leave straight away. Yeah. Any issues you'll be removed. Yeah, but if you just get on with it, it's fine. How many people in here? 2. What, in this room? That one and this one.
Morning.
Morning.
Right, how long have I got to pack up my stuff?
Well, pretty much half an hour. You've had several months, so half an hour, yeah?
Yeah, okay then.
That little room over there.
Eviction lawyer Chris Sharp has been handling the case.
To show just how organised these people are, they've got a little crib sheet here. If the cops come to the door, here's what to say or not to say.
There are far fewer squatters today than Chris had feared, but it's clear that many more people have been living in the church.
There's lots of rooms in here. I think there's been tens of people here from time to time. Oh, just look at that, look at that. Just disgrace. Oh, it stinks as well.
As the 2 remaining squatters pack their stuff, Reverend Sarpong and Ibrahim, who own the lease, enter their church for the first time.
You okay, mate? Hello, how's it going there?
Yeah, great, yeah. You okay?
How are you?
Fine, thank you, yeah. Sorry we have to get to this point.
I know, you've got to do what you got to do, eh? Yeah, I've been here since September last year, so yes, it's been a while. I was sleeping rough after my universal credit was stopped, you know.
This man's been living here for almost a year.
It's felt like my home, yeah. It feels nice. My goal is to survive as best I can, to be safe, to be happy, and just, you know, just make the best of things in general. Lots of empty buildings in Liverpool, so, you know, we'll find somewhere quite easily.
Hello. How are you doing?
Really happy, mate. How are you?
Oh, good.
The other remaining squatter isn't so friendly.
I will invite you to come and have service with us.
You're a funny god. I understand 11 million homeless people across Europe and 3 to 4 million empty homes. I understand, yeah, I understand very well.
For what you've done, you should be apologizing to the community. You get what I mean?
It's fantastic, really top stuff. Very compassionate, a very warm country. And yourselves really make me feel very warm. Especially this man, very friendly looking.
These are just greedy guys, that's who they are, very selfish guys. You know, they're not even feeling the remorse for what they've done. I mean, it's just not on. This is not on.
You have mixed emotions. You've got to remain absolutely focused on the professional part of it, but you still have an emotional reaction to this. You know, these guys, they weren't hurting anybody, but they were preventing our clients to carry out their dream.
It was never a crazy party place or anything like this. It was purely sanctuary for people who, you know, desperate people. I left the rat race to try and help make the world a better place, raise the conscience of the human family. That's what I've spent over 20 years doing. And to me, it's criminal that any system can leave properties empty for a long time and people on the streets.
Right, you done, Dave?
The two remaining squatters leave.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Like,
And 8 months later than planned, the Reverend and Ibrahim finally have their church.
okay?
All right.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
But there is a huge job to be done before they can open their ministry and community centre.
Look at the mess.
It's a mess. You look up, it looks wonderful. You look down, shudder a little bit, don't you? Wow, you've got some work ahead of you guys. I think all that leaves for me to say is good luck, because I know you've got one hell of a job ahead of you here.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure helping you guys. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll see you again. Bye-bye now.
It's quite a lot of work. We never expected this, to be honest. It's come as a shock, but we're going to get there. The most important thing is getting the building. The rest will come. Congratulations. We are finally there. Yes.
It will take the Reverends many months to bring the church up to scratch, but at least now they can get started.